Hey friends, it's Christine from Spotted Horse Design Company, and in today's video I'm going to teach you how to crochet cables. Now this was a stitch that I had actually avoided for a really long time because I thought that cables were just super hard and super complicated, but I am here to show you that this stitch is nothing to be afraid of, and it is actually a lot simpler than a lot of people may think. So for the swatch that we're going to be working on today, we're going to be working in groups of 4. So we're going to start with 4 stitches, and then we're going to go into our cable, which is also going to be 4 stitches long, and then we're going to have a section of 4 stitches in between, and then we're going to start our second cable, and that is again 4 stitches long, and then we're going to end with 4 stitches. So everything is in a set of 4. Generally speaking, a basic cable is just going to be a 4-stitch section. So even if you are like later down the road, you learn to do other cables, it'll be a lot easier once you've got this basic cable under your belt. All right, let's get started. So for supplies, I am using just a regular worsted weight acrylic yarn along with a 5mm crochet hook, but go ahead and use whatever yarn and hook combination is most comfortable for you. All right, so we're going to begin by working a foundation chain of 22. Once you've made those 22 chains, we're going to work into the 3rd chain from the hook. So 1, 2, and 3. This is the chain that we're going to work into. We're going to work a half double crochet stitch. And now we're just going to continue to work a half double crochet stitch in each chain all the way across. The first 2 rows are going to be very simple, very straightforward, and we're not really going to begin our cables until row 3, but we do need this foundation first in order to make our cables. So go ahead and put me on pause for right now. Work your half double crochets. Again, we're just working 1 in every chain all the way down, and then I will meet you back here to start the 2nd row. Now once you've finished up those half double crochets, go ahead and chain 1 and turn your work. And now the chain 1 does not count as a stitch, so we're going to work directly into this very first stitch here, and we're going to work a single crochet stitch. And now we're just going to work a single crochet stitch in the next stitch and in each stitch all the way down the row. So pause this video and work this single crochet row, and then I'll meet you back here to start row 3, which will be the row where we start our cables. Welcome back. So once you've come to the end of that row, go ahead and chain 1 and turn your work. And now we're going to begin row 3. This is going to begin the beginning of our cable sequence. Now, while cables really aren't that difficult, this is probably going to be the most difficult row. After we get this first row of cable, or our foundation for our cables, done, I promise it's a lot easier after that. Now remember, your chain 1 does not count as a stitch, so we're going to work directly into this very first stitch here. And we're going to work a half double crochet in each of the first 4 stitches. So we're about to begin our cable sequence, but first we need to look at this very first row of half double crochet stitches that we did. Okay, we started with half double crochets, and then we did a second row of single crochet stitches. We're going to ignore our single crochet row and really look at the very first row that we worked. So we just worked 4 stitches on top here. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to this first row of stitches and you're going to count over 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. We worked these stitches on top. This 5th one here, this is where we're going to work our first post stitch for our cable. All right, so we're skipping over this single crochet row and going directly down to this very first row we made. Again, we worked 4 stitches on top already, which means we're going to skip 4 stitches down here, and we're going to look for this 5th stitch. All right, so we are going to work a front post double crochet around this 5th stitch from 2 rows below. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook from front to back, and then back out the front. So it looks like this. And now you're going to complete the stitch as a normal double crochet stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And that is our first post stitch of our first cable. So we're going to do that 3 more times actually. So we're going to do that around this next stitch, this one, and this one for a set of 4. So yarn over, insert your hook from front to back, back out the front, and then just complete your double crochet as you normally would. We're going to do that a 3rd time. And last time, this will be number 4. And this is the base of your first cable. I know it doesn't look like much now, but as we start building onto it, you're really going to see it start to take shape in just a few more rows. So now that we've finished our foundation for our first cable, we worked these stitches on the front, so I want you to look at the back, and I don't want this to confuse you, but these stitches on the back look like they are unworked, but we just worked the stitches on the front. So we are going to count 4 stitches over, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to work our next stitch here, okay? So again, skipping over these 4 stitches on the back because we just worked them on the front here, you're going to work a half double crochet in this next stitch and in each of the next 3 stitches for a total of 4 half double crochets. And now it's time to work another cable sequence. So again, we're going to look at the very first row that we did. So this is this last sequence of 4 post stitches. We're going to count over 4 more stitches. So we just worked 4 regular half double crochets on top. We're going to count over 4 stitches on this very first row. So here's the last post stitch that we worked. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 that we just worked on top here. And now this 5th stitch is where we're going to work our first set of 4 post stitches for our next cable. So working a post stitch in that 5th stitch over from the last set of 4 post stitches that we did. Oops. And now we're going to work 3 more of those for a total of 4. Now remember, you're going to look at the back of your work, you're going to count over 4 stitches, and you're going to skip these because we just worked them on the front. And you're going to work a half double crochet in each of the last 4 stitches of this row. Chain 1 and turn your work. All right, so this next row, row 4, is just going to be a very simple row. All we're going to do is work one single crochet stitch in the first stitch and in each stitch all the way across. There are no post stitches. We don't have to worry about anything like that. We're working under both loops as normal all the way across for this row. So go ahead and put me on pause and finish up this row of single crochet stitches, and I'll meet you back here to start row 5. And welcome back. Once you've come to the end of that single crochet row, go ahead and chain 1 and turn your work. And now we're going to begin another cable row. This one is actually going to look a little different than this first one that we did, but the good news is because we did this foundation of post stitches here, it's going to be so much easier to see where to insert your hook, and you don't have to worry about counting stitches and second guessing yourself. I second guess myself a lot and recount things a lot. So when we've got these post stitches kind of popping out on the front of our work here, it definitely makes things a lot easier moving forward. So to begin this row, we are going to work a half double crochet stitch in each of the first 4 stitches. And now, instead of making front post double crochet stitches, we're actually going to do front post treble crochet stitches because we need that little extra height. We're going to be reaching over and reaching back, and we're going to need the extra height to let us go that distance. So we've got this set of 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 post stitches. We're going to count over 3. And we're going to work stitches 3 and 4 first, and then we're going to go back and work stitches 1 and 2. So we're going to work a front post treble crochet starting with stitch 3. So yarn over twice. Insert your hook around the post of that 3rd stitch. Pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. And yarn over and pull through 2. And now we're going to do that again with our 4th stitch. So yarn over twice, insert your hook around the post of that 4th stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and now you're just going to finish this as a regular treble crochet stitch. And now we're going to go back and work stitches 1 and 2. So we're going to work a front post treble crochet around this one, and then a front post treble crochet around this 2nd stitch. So this is the first one. And now working our final front post treble crochet around this 2nd post stitch. And now you can start to see, this is probably the beginning of our, where you can start to see your cable stitch take shape. Where we made our stitches are kind of twisty looking here. That's what we want. That's what we're going for. So if this is what your work is starting to look like, you are on the right track. So moving forward, remember you're skipping 4 stitches on the back because we just worked them on the front. And now we're going to work a half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. And now it's time to repeat the sequence that we did over here. So remember our set of 4 post stitches, the order that we're going to work them is stitch 3, stitch 4, and then we're going to do stitch 1 and then stitch 2. So starting with the 3rd stitch, you're going to work a front post treble crochet around the post of that 3rd stitch. And now we're going to do the same thing around this 4th stitch. Now we're going to go back to stitches 1 and 2, starting with the first one. And we're going to finish up this sequence by making one last front post treble crochet around this second stitch. And now we're just going to finish up this row by working a half double crochet in each of the last 4 stitches of this row. Chain 1 and turn your work. And now we're back to a regular single crochet row. So go ahead and put me on pause. Work 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way across, and I'll meet you back here to start the next row. All right, welcome back. So once you've finished up that row, go ahead and chain 1 and turn your work. And now the next 4 rows that we do are going to be the 4 rows that you're going to repeat over and over again until your practice swatch is the size that you want it to be. So this next row we're going to start, it's going to look, I do want to say, the next 4 rows are going to look very similar to what we did, except this next row that we do is going to still be a little different, but from here on out, these next 4 rows that we do is just going to be, you're just going to make these on repeat. So let's start this row by making 1 half double crochet in each of the first 4 stitches. And now we're going to go back to doing front post double crochets, and we're going to do them in order this time. So we're just going to work 1, 2, 3, 4 this time. But because we kind of worked our stitches, you know, crisscross on that last row, these first 2 you might have to just kind of, you know, push them out toward the front to make them a little more accessible for your hook. So starting with this first one, kind of just take my finger here and push it out towards the front, and we're going to work a front post double crochet. We did treble crochets on the last row, it is just front post double crochets on this row. And we're just going to continue to make 3 more front post double crochets, all in order. That was number 2. 3 and 4. And now moving on, remembering to skip these 4 stitches on the back. Now we're going to work 4 half double crochet stitches. And now we're going to repeat the sequence that we did over here. So again, we're working in order, and we're going to make 4 front post double crochet stitches, working in order this time. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to finish up this row by working a half double crochet in each of the last 4 stitches. Chain 1 and turn your work. And now this is just our single crochet row, so go ahead and put me on pause. You're going to work a single crochet stitch in each stitch all the way across, and then I'll meet you back here to start the next row. And once you've made it to the end of that single crochet row, go ahead and chain 1 and turn your work. And now we're going to begin this row by making a half double crochet in each of the first 4 stitches. And now on this row, we're going to go back to working front post treble crochet stitches. And remember, the order that we work these is we're going to start, here's our set of 4, right? We're going to start with stitches 3 and 4, and then go back and work stitches 1 and 2. So again, we're doing front post treble crochets, starting with this 3rd stitch in the set of 4. Now we're going to work a front post treble crochet around the last stitch in the set of 4. And now we're going to go back and work stitches 1 and 2. And the last one is going to be this 2nd stitch. And remembering to skip 4 stitches and then working 4 half double crochet stitches. And now we're going to repeat that cable sequence again. So we're working front post treble crochets. We're starting with stitches 3 and 4, and then finishing up with stitches 1 and 2. So working into that 3rd stitch. Now working into the last stitch, or should I say around the last stitch. And now going back to the first 2 stitches. And lastly, this 2nd stitch. Oh man. And now we're just going to finish up this row by making a half double crochet in each of the last 4 stitches. So now if you want to continue working on your practice swatch, the last 4 rows that we just did, you are just going to continue to repeat over and over again. So rows 6, 7, 8, and 9 are the rows that you're going to want to repeat over and over again, until you feel comfortable enough with a stitch or your practice swatch is the size that you want it to be. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Be sure to leave me a comment and let me know what you thought of this stitch. Was it as hard as you thought it was going to be? Was it easier than you thought it was going to be? I'd love to know what you think. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!